Morning, everyone. Hey, I'm going to be here working on this house that I've done some working before. I worked on the front door. Now I'm going to go ahead and reframe this opening for a new pocket door because I got 3 doors coming together and it's not practical to have a regular hinge door there. So this is going to be the effort to make more sense of that wall space by putting a pocket door in. So I'm going to go from this stud here all the way over to this wall here. And they had made it handicap accessible by pushing this door into a recess to make this door over here, this door here, 3 foot wide. So I'm going to change that size down to a 2/8 so I can bring that wall back out of that recess. And this is that process. It's going to start with removing all the framing in that complete area to open it up, because that's what it's going to take to do the pocket door kit. It's going to take about 6 foot of room of totally open wide space, minus what I bring the sizes down and bring it from a 3/0 door to a 2/8 door, stuff like that. I'll be adding some framing there besides the other necessaries to hold the pocket door in place as well. But it's going to, in essence, start with a 6 foot wide hole. I'm going to start by cutting the bottom of these studs off at the nails so I can pull it off the nails at the top. I've got all the demo done. The only thing that I have to do yet, still got to take and lay out that for that plate where that pocket door is going to go. I have to cut it off at the right spot. I like this kit here. It's got a good reputation behind it, at least as far as I'm concerned. It has all the necessary pieces, the metal studs for the 2 or 4 wall. They have to be about 3/4 of an inch thick and strong. They have the track already included with the wood header, and I'm going to cut it down to the 2/8 opening that they have here, and then mount those mount this in place in that opening once I get done. But this right here will tell me just what I need to know about the height, about the size of the roof opening. And the instructions will also tell me what I need to know too, but I'm going to just freshen up on that a bit. I'm used to using these in 2 to 6 walls where I don't even use these kits. I just mount the track directly to the head of the door, to the head of the framing, that is. So I'm going to use a little bit of common sense, and being as it's still something that I haven't done in a while, I'm going to set this up for that cutting. I'm going to check the existing framing here to see how plumb it is. That way I don't have to compensate too much in the rough opening in case something's really out of whack. And that's actually really looking really good. So I can measure over directly and give myself a 2'10" rough opening for a 2/8 door. And that's 1 block and 2 jack studs to get that to move over. All right, the plate over here, I cut it out over there because that's this cut right here, because I needed to get that cross plate out from that one pocket. And when I grabbed this wall here, that thing just flapped bad. So lapping that back like that is going to be a big plus for that wall, on top of adding some cross blocking on the top of it too to really keep it stable. It's moving a lot for a bathroom wall. I'm going to cut this plate down here to the length that it needs to be to allow the pocket door to come into the opening and to go back into the pocket. Like I mentioned before, that plate has to be cut. I usually lay out my pocket doors down to the nitty-gritty, not necessarily falling back on what the people who make the track, although they've done it for a long time, it's just that they usually go by different criteria than what I do. So what I'm doing is allowing a 1-inch thick thickness of material on this side. That'll be the 3/4 inch jamb with a 1/4 inch shim space. I'm going to mark it here to the edge where I can see it better on the floor with the plate. And then I'm going to mark the width of the door at 2'8", but I'm going to put another mark at the finish of 2'7 3/4". Off of that 1-inch mark. So in essence, it's 2'8 3/4". That's that. And 2'8" is here. That's the door itself. And then the jamb material is 3/4 of an inch thick. So I'm going to put another mark 3/4 of an inch away. Now that's the beginning of the piece of framing member that starts the pocket. Thin wall here, thin wall there. But I have the finish mark so I can stretch my tape out one more time into the opening at 2'8" from the finish mark here on the floor, or the depth of the door into the pocket. And that's my finish jamb dimension there, where the door is going to be flush with the face of the jamb out here at the pocket. Then I'm going to go ahead and mark 32 inches here for the depth of the door itself. But there's a bumper in the pocket, and that bumper's a 1/2 inch thick. So I'm going to mark back another 1/2 inch, and that will be where this plate is cut and the framing starts in this one section of the wall. So I'll be able to put a jack stud here. You want to make those marks. So that's my framing, last stud of my framing mark. In other words, it's a jack stud. And then I'm going to move and mark the jack stud. And I'm going to move it and then put the common stud right there. So that's going to be marked with an X for the common stud and marked for the jack stud there. Now I can cut my plate and get this excess out of the way. Set my saw at 1.5 inches deep. Although I have the old shadow line from where the plate was before that I pulled up, I've already checked this plywood scrap for straight. And I'm just going to mark it in pencil on the floor because, well, I'm going to mark it in pencil on the floor, hugging the original plate so I can see something really definitive in the way of the wall layout. And that has that. And then I'm going to mark where the end of the first clip goes. Right there. And that should have what I need to know to set the base by. I'm going to cut the jack studs both the same length, but I better look at the floor because if the floor is running downhill one way or the other, then ideally I should cut the jack studs 2 different lengths because then the head will follow the floor running downhill one way or the other as well. And it is running a little bit shorter on this side, so I'm going to cut to accommodate. Alright folks, that should have this rough opening done, ready to receive the track. I got a double 2x6 header in there, and I got spacers in between it to maintain its 3.5 inches. Well nailed all the way around per code, 3 nails in the end of a 2x6 from each side. Some places even more than that. Jack studs, everything's cut to fit within the shim space of the track when I set that in there. So that's pretty much got this part of this job wrapped up. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next segment as well. Setting the actual pocket door frame in place is a very simple process. I love this type of hardware that I use it all the time. So that's what's going to be in the next segment. So I'm going to start this kit installation here with setting the header at the right height, described by the door height that I need. And then I'll level it in from one side to the other because I did notice that the floor does have a dip in it. So I'll use a level to make that final connection on the other side. What's nice about these tracks here is that they will allow you three fixed mounting points and 1 adjustable mounting point. So I'll set the track with the adjustable mounting point in mind on the other side. I'll put it that way because I'll be able to fix the one end that I know is high already with these screws, and then level. I'll go this way. And then level it by using the slotted track on the other side, because I've actually used just a slotted track only, and I've had these things just go bloop, and then drop straight down and hit the floor. Never good when that happens. Okay, now this side, I got that one fixed in a single drilled hole. This one I'm going to put in the slot. A little bit low. So I can raise it or lower it as I need by checking it with a level. I'm also going to confirm the height of the door again. I can't take a chance on this. I can cut the bottom of the door off if it is too close to the finished floor. Not a big deal, but I tell you what, I'd rather not do that. I have 83 inches to the finished floor. 83 inches. And again, I got 83 inches minus the 2 that I need for the hardware over top. So that's 81 inches. My door is 80, and that'll only leave me a swing of 1/4 of an inch over the floor. Bummer. Doors haven't been ordered yet, so I can order this particular door with a undercut on it from 80 inches down to 79.5, for example. So that's what's going to wind up happening with that. And that'll fix the problem at the supplier. I don't have to do nothing on site. These are the studs that are provided with the kit. They're a full metal product. They used to be a metal wrap with a wood insert, so you could still use wood drywall screws, but now they made them out of full metal, which is, I think, a more rigid product. It's just that you need to use a self-drilling tapping screw to hold the sheetrock, and they have to be a specific length too, so they don't come through too far and tag the door on the other side. Or if it doesn't tag the door, scratch it up when it's put in or whatever could happen. And they actually even provided those screws as well. Pretty nice of them to do that nowadays. But these tracks are held in place with this clip that'll go to the floor, very thin at the bottom. And that goes right on the inside of that. And that keeps that stable at the bottom. This will go down to the floor. And it's got its mounting holes, so it can be screwed to the floor in 5 different areas, if need be. So anyway, that's how this is put together. And I'm going to have to cut them a little bit to length. And I also still have yet to level this track in too. So I got to do that before I get too far ahead of myself. And it's got to come down just a little, probably about 1/4 of an inch. If they upgrade the bearings like I hope they do, these doors will come out of their own pocket if they're out of level, just at least a little bit. And that's got to come down still yet a little more. Well, I finally got it down too low. That's good. And get it back up a little. And my plan is to shim that space and then draw a screw up through into the header as well. Also in the center. Well, I'm not going to be able to do 16-inch centers, so I'm just going to, well, there's 16 right there. But it's not from the common run. Plumb these in and mark them. I'll take a multi-master. I could take these out into my truck and cut them off with the oscillating saw, but it'll be a very easy nick also just to do it with this. The door is 80 inches tall, so with that, I'll mark up 40 inches from the floor. Set it in the center of the jamb. And that's good for posterity, right? The reason why I wanted to put that stop in there was because I wanted to measure from that bumper and see if I have the proper bury for the door that I wanted to have in this pocket, because again, it's a style and rail, or rail and style door. I don't want to bury too much of the style into the pocket and make those sizes look really odd. So I just simply go for 1/4 of an inch inside the pocket, and that's plenty. It's hitting that jamb. It's not going to go out any farther than what that jamb is going to allow it. So that 1/4 of an inch is going to be perfect for getting that look that I'm after and keeping the rails and stiles looking decent. So I got 31 1/4. So by the time I get done, I got 32 1/4 for the jamb. So I don't want that. I want to move this back to 31 1/2, which means everything goes back 1/4 of an inch. Easy to do now, like I was saying. I'm going to make those cuts with a multi-master to get that relief that I need to get those in. So I'm going to square across, and that way I can cut both sides out. Push away that way just a little. I'll mark it so I can see where I'm going. That will work, no doubt. And this one still, the one in the back still has to come out just a skosh. All right, people, that's got this wrapped up also. It's actually a pretty simple, straightforward deal. Double check your numbers for, and I think I might have to cut that door down, or have it cut ahead of time from 80 down to like 79 1/2 possibly, to make sure it clears the floor well. On a pocket door, especially in the bathroom where you have fans, you need to have that draw at the bottom of the door. So if it goes bigger than 1/2 of an inch at the bottom of the door to the finished floor, that is not a problem for a bathroom door. It actually can be a good thing, again, with the fans going on, clearance for the bottom guides, etc. See, I hope you enjoyed the video. It's very straightforward stuff. Try to keep it exciting, but there ain't a whole lot I can do with a pocket door deal. But if you happen to like what you see here and you maybe learn something from it, that would tickle me to pieces. If you like and subscribe, that would also tickle me to pieces. I really enjoy doing what I do here, and I hope you can enjoy watching it as well. So thank you very much for your time watching, and we'll see you the next go round. Bye-bye.